everybody. Doing a gum chewing ramble here today, and a channel update. But the channel update is specific for the Shady videos. If you obviously had seen yesterday's video, I did Shady episode 1. Now I'm gonna try to make these like kind of a more. I've wanted to do this in the past, and I was just like, screw it. I kind of have a good way to start it, so I was just like, fuck it, I'm doing it this way. And so I started off Shady, the arrival. So that's part 1, episode 1, whatever. And I want to go from there. Obviously, I've got some stuff in my head, how I want to move it along, but I want it to be a little more coherent. I'll still do like Shady, whatever, Shady, Doctor, Shady, whatever the hell, those will be thrown in as their usual thing, but I kind of want to be just, something coherent, and that flow is flowing forward and stuff. So I might have to jot some stuff down in a book, not like me scripting anything, but just like, okay, this one I talked about, whatever, blah, 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 just so I know, and I can go back to it and know what the fuck I said in the one before. But that was fun to do. I ended up putting up a weird time. I was like, I wasn't going to put a video up, and then I was excited to make that one. I made it real quick. I was like, I want to get it up there. So it didn't necessarily view as well as I wanted, but there was no gum, and it also just went up at a weird time. But the comments are solid. Thank you to people commenting. The likes are really good. So that's always nice, right? It's not all about the views. You like to get interaction in there, which I've gotten. So, especially on the Shady videos, I like there to be some good interaction with those videos because I do enjoy making them. But it's going to be a straight, coherent kind of story. It probably will go off the rails a little bit. It typically does, but I wanted to at least follow what happened before. But obviously all the other Shady videos are still there, but I might actually do a clear out. This is, I guess, not really a channel update, but part of a channel update, but I kind of want to clear out some older videos, like really older videos that just have no comments on them, have like 2 likes. They haven't gotten a view in years. Just to kind of clear out some, a little bit of a spring cleanup, summer cleanup. And some videos that I wasn't personally happy with. I've done that in the past with some gameplays and stuff, where I was like, ugh, no, I gotta get rid of this. Just probably should never put it up to begin with, type stuff. But yeah, it is. I mean, I have the light on in the living room as well, just to get some better lighting in here. But it's been raining and thundering all morning. It's 10:20 now. I gotta call an Uber in about an hour and like 15 minutes or something. I might call it a little earlier to go to the doctor. I got the doctor at 1. I was supposed to go last week, but they had canceled. They called me like 2 hours before the appointment. Oh, we gotta reschedule. I don't know why they had to reschedule, but I'm just getting blood work done, the usual stuff I've been having done. So I was like, whatever. Of course, I make it for today, and it's pouring and stuff, so I'm going to have to be a little... There's a little thunder there, actually. Because I want to get an Uber and hopefully get one, because I understand it's raining. It's a hilly town. People might not want, be as keen on going out and doing things. I do tip well, though. I've had the same person twice. I've had like 5 or 6 different people, but I have gotten the same guy twice. The guy I had last time I went to the doctor, I had one other time, and I felt bad at first. He ended up getting tipped, but for some reason, like I do track phone, I get the, you kind of buy a card once a month. Maybe I want a $15 card this month or a $20, depending on how much gigs of data they're gonna give me, But I'm usually on Wi-Fi a lot of the time anyway. But I could swear I had still like 300 megabytes left or something. And I'm in the car on the way there, and I'm like, and my Wi-Fi's not working at all. Even though the 4G's not working. Not the Wi-Fi, the 4G's not. Like, what the fuck? And I wasn't thinking that at the time because I thought a certain amount of data left. And then I got there, and I'm like, I can't leave this guy a fucking tip. I'm like, this isn't good. And then I started clicking. I was like, did they steal my data? I feel like they steal my data. Or they like knock you off Wi-Fi on purpose. Because the phone will just go off Wi-Fi sometimes, and then I'll be on the laptop, and I'll be like, still connected fine. They're like, no, your data's not low enough. We eat some of that shit. I don't know, but whatever. Conspiracy theory. But I was like, that's not good. Like, and then I got into the doctors, and they have Wi-Fi. So I immediately hooked up their Wi-Fi. And I was like, yep, my data's gone. But I was on Wi-Fi there, so I was like, okay, boom. Gave the guy the tip. It was like a half hour later, which whatever. Some people do forget to tip for like, oh my God, 20 minutes ago. But I didn't leave him a nice tip. I always do with Uber as well. Uber Eats, I should say, in Uber. Because I'm looking at it as, you know what, especially if you're bringing food here. I'm going to give you some decent. But on like the tips for the rides I'm getting, I'm always going to hook them up because it's a big service for me personally, There's no cabs in this town, Cabs are almost a thing of the past. Long Island, there were still some cab companies floating around because you could still get in there. But the Ubers on Long Island were everywhere. You'd find 20 in your space, that could get to you within 5 minutes. Obviously, this is a smaller town. It's a populated town, but there's just not as many people. I feel like more people are driving here because the transportation system down here is not. There's buses in town that will like go up to Greensboro, but it's not like you don't have the LIRR and bus routes all over the place. So I am more grateful to be able to get those Ubers. So I like to tip nicely because it's almost like a thank you, like a decent thing. Like, hey man, I need this, if I can't get these Ubers, I'm fucking screwed. How am I getting to the doctor, and stuff like that. But because we're on the outskirts, we're like not. If we were in the town normally, I'd just be able to walk. But we're in a spot where we're on the outskirts of town. Like realistically, if I could just walk it, if there were sidewalks everywhere, and it was just. It didn't seem like a dangerous walk. I'll see some people walking up our main road here. Not main, but the road that goes through and our road's off of. And then the main road down, whatever it is, 64, 40 something, 49. I see people walking, I'm like, they're playing a dangerous game here. Because there's no sidewalks, it's tight. Like this road over here, it's like... I've talked about this. I don't like cutting the lawn up there. People are zooming down this road. For some reason, this road's the road everybody rides super fast on. The main roads, they don't move as quickly. Which, whatever, they're going the speed limit. This one, for some reason, people like to... I'm like cutting the lawn like this constantly. But I wouldn't be comfortable walking this. Now, if it was all, like I said, if it was all just sidewalks and everything else, or there was just... a good amount of space to walk in. It wasn't a sidewalk. It would probably be about a 2-hour walk, which I would do. Not all the time, but I would do it. I've done 3-hour, 4-hour walks. I don't care. But if we were that's the one, for me personally, one of the big negative is I just can't go walking. But, if I was in town, or even a little bit off of town a little bit, it'd be a lot simpler. I'm talking town, like the town part, where I'm not even talking the main road that has the Walmart, the fast food places, Lowe's, Staples, whatever, the mall. I'm talking about like the town, where you got the restaurants and the antique stores and stuff like that. And even if I was living in that area, it'd be much easier, but I still do like where we are because it's quieter and it's not as busy. It's not really busy at all. You'll get a decent amount of cars going up and down that road there, but it's not like a main road. So I still love where we're at. It's just you got to take the positives and the negatives as part of it. But anyway, I do appreciate the Ubers that I want to get these Uber rides. The Uber Eats, whatever. I don't do that often. I haven't done that in months, but that's like a luxury, you know. I don't need to be ordering those. But the Uber rides, like into town, I need when I need to go to the doctor. Like I'd have to be setting them up on, you know. I think that one's open on a Saturday or a Friday afternoon. I'd be able to, my fiance would be able to drive me there, but yeah, going to the doctor. Hopefully I can get a ride. Message the guy across the street last minute. I got a ride. Can you give me one? It slowed down. It was downpouring earlier. It's still raining, but it's not. It's kind of a little more than a drizzle. A light rain. I was putting some peanuts out and seed for the birds earlier. I wait a little bit. Actually, it sounds like it actually might be raining a little heavier now. I'm going to have to bring the umbrella. I planned on going into town after the doctor, but I might not. I might go over to the mall instead, which is much closer to the doctor's office. And then I'll get an Uber from there. Sometimes, like, getting an Uber back is tough. I don't always have to get it back because it's lined up. If I have a later appointment, my fiance, can get me. She's off work. She can come get me. It lines up. But today it most likely won't. It probably could if I can kill like 3 hours, but 3-4 hours, but I don't know if I can. But yeah, it's I mean, we needed a good. We've gotten some decent rain recently, but we needed a good, like, steady, heavy, and then like a steady rain. We got a tiller. I gotta use it maybe tomorrow or over the weekend, because I want to till up and get up some of the grass. Because the first summer we were here, the lawn looked excellent for like up until July. We had like 2 weeks of no rain and scorching heat, and you can't water this lawn with that kind of heat. The lawn's too big. You have to keep moving the lawn, the sprinkler. You're going through your water. Not that you could go through it. We have well water. I've said this, but we also have like a system, a salt system and stuff, to kind of get knock down like the iron content and stuff. So I don't know what that would do to the lawn too. But it's a big lawn. You're watering it constantly. You could water it for 2 hours straight. It doesn't matter. That heat's in the high 90s, hitting the hundreds. Doesn't matter. It's scorching it. It's dry. The water's done nothing. You'd have to leave it on 24/7. It doesn't do what a 3-hour downpour does. It's just not the same. And it really just busted up the lawn. It burned it out in spots. A lot of weeds came up. I used the weed stuff that worked well, but I need to like reseed in spots. So I want to get some grass seed. And just try it in a few spots, see how it works, and then go from there. The lawn doesn't look like complete shit, but it doesn't look great. Like, it looked really nice. Now, the thing is, the people that were here before us had landscapers, so they could redo that stuff themselves, and stuff. But I kind of just used the weed killer stuff last year to hope that would kind of help out, but it didn't do it all. It just needs to be reseeded in spots. So I saw some grass seed at Walmart for like $20. Big jug, or whatever you want to call it, container of it. I used some of that, but I'm gonna stop this here, just a kind of a quicker ramble. I don't want to go longer because it's 10:30 now, and I don't know how long this is gonna take to upload. So I want to kind of have it uploaded and ready to go by like maybe 11:30. As long as it's uploaded, I can set a time for it, and then from not here. But anyway, Just a quick channel update with the shady stuff. The shady stuff, not the shitty stuff. I guess you can argue that. The shady stuff, and